So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nuttanee. Today my session will be about the LEED and WELL certification at the park. I'm going to talk about how we achieve both of them. And at that time, they were like quite new to like the local practice. So that's why I call this session as a pioneering in LEED and WELL certification. Let me give a bit of a background of the PARQ project. This is like the PARQ. It's like a mixed-use building. For the PARQ, the project owner is TCC Access Thailand, and Fraser Property Holdings Thailand is responsible for the development and asset management of the project. The building is located in the central Bangkok area, and it is a mixed use of 14-story with 2 parking basements. And we have retail on the first floor with an NLA of around 12,000 square meter. And from 4th floor to 17th floor, they are for tenant office with an NLA of around 60 square meter. The project timeline is for the design process. We started in late 2016 and we completed the design process in 2018. And the construction took place around 2 years and 3 months. And the project, we have a concept of life-well balance, and that is the starting point of we come up with the target to achieve LEED and WELL certification. So now I'm moving to our certification journey. So like I mentioned, that we start the design process in late 2016, and in early 2017, that was when we decided to aim for LEED and WELL certification. And at that time, LEED has just fully moved from version 3, which is the old version, to the new version, the current version, version 4. And at that time, WELL certification were newly introduced in Bangkok. So both of them were new to the local practice at that time. And the project target is to like be the first mixed-use building to be certified LEED Core and Shell version 4. And it will be the first building to receive WELL certification. And that will make the park become the first building in Thailand that awarded both LEED and WELL certifications. And currently the park is already like awarded LEED Gold last April. And we received WELL pre-certification in December 2019. We are expecting to receive the full WELL certification by the end of this year. To talk briefly about LEED and WELL certifications. So for LEED, the focus of the certification system is to reduce environmental impact, while WELL certification would focus on human health and well-being. So like to create the building environment that will enhance like both human health and well-being. And both of the certifications have like some overlap area that I will talk about later on. Well, during our certification journey, what we found is that there are advantages of working on LEED and WELL together, because one feature in LEED can also benefit score point in WELL. Okay, so when you work on one feature, you can give benefit to both environment and human health at the same time. For example, if you provide open space in like sustainable sites for LEED, okay, you can also provide a space for people so that they can have physical movement, and that will promote fitness of the occupants. And you can also use that open space for people in the building so they can like have they can relax in the open space, so that will enrich their mind as well. So you can like achieve both LEED and WELL at the same time. So that is just one example. Actually, there are like many more features in LEED that will like also give benefit in WELL. So you can see that when you work at the 2 certifications together, they provide holistic approach in sustainability for like people and the planet. Okay. Now I'm going through the LEED and WELL features that the park has, and at the same time, I will highlight of what we learned during our journey. So the first features that promote sustainability at the park is about locations and commuting. So because the park is at the central Bangkok area, as I mentioned, so it has a good connection to existing amenities and infrastructure. And we have an underground station just next to our building. So that's help to encourage people to use public transportation. We also support our building occupants to use other means of alternative transportation, like providing electric car chargers. And we also provide a facility for bike users, like bicycle racks. We have shower rooms and changing rooms on all of these floors. The next one is about site or landscape design. We thought about sustainability for human, habitat, and city. For human and habitat, we provide open space, vegetation, tree shades, and water features. We have like a lot of green and open space on the ground floor and on the third floor. And for the city, we use the same features, okay, to provide tree shades, and we carefully select light color paving and roofing to address the problem of urban heat island in Bangkok. And we also try to like achieve light pollution reduction in LEED as well. And this will need a design that try to minimize the light that go out of your building to adjacent area or to the sky. And because LEEDs have just moved to the new version and the requirement is like more stringent, so I can say that this is a new area of the design that requires collaborative work with the designers and suppliers to understand the performance of lighting design. And for water efficiency, the park install water saving fixtures in all common area inside the building. And we also have submitters for 100% of landlord and tenant controlled areas. And for outdoor water or landscape water, we selected plants with low water consumption, and we also use recycled water that's supplied through the drip irrigation system to minimize the loss of water. And for heat rejection for the cooling system, because we like buildings in Bangkok rely on only cooling, so we have a lot of water consumption in cooling towers. So what we do is we install conductivity meters that help to control water use in cooling towers according to the actual demands of cooling. Well, for energy efficiency, the building facade of the park use insulating glass with a low E coating. We also have insulation at all spandrel areas. And like I mentioned, that we use a lot of cooling in Bangkok. And so we put a lot of effort in trying to achieve high efficiency in chiller plant. And the operating efficiency at the moment is like 0.53 kilowatt per ton of cooling. So that's like quite high. And to reduce energy consumption in fans in cooling system, we install electronically commutated fans in outdoor air handling units and in air handling units in the common area as well, that we can achieve the efficiency of around IE5. We also use inverter to reduce energy consumption further. And for the lighting system, we have like sensors and IoT platform that allow us to have the light balancing in our tenants area. And we also have motion sensors like installed in each of the fixtures. And the IoT platform also allow a remote control of lighting system through a mobile phone. So this kind of innovative features for the office market at the moment. So what we learn here is that when we provide like such a new features, what we have to do is provide education to tenants as well. So they understand that, okay, this come with motion sensors, so sometimes it will be off or that they can control it through their mobile phone. So this is something that we have to put in the plan, because we have to assign the like customer relation team to be the one who provide education to the tenants. In terms of construction materials, because LEED has requirements of environmental and health information disclosure. However, for the version 4 of LEED, it comes with a new requirement of ISO compliance or like CDPH testing standard. So this is a new area for local supplier. So at that time, we have to like work a lot with the suppliers. So it has there is a require additional collaboration. We have to like encourage suppliers to have their materials tested and verified. And what we also need to like think about at times is that we have to allow some lead time for those process. And for waste management at the park, we have a very nice waste management facility here, as you can see in this photo. It's like amazingly like neat and clean. We have recyclable waste sorting room that and like our staff will sort waste, and any non-recyclable will go to either that drum, as you can see here, or go to our food waste composting machine that can work to compost the food waste in 24 hours to get fertilizer that is like E. coli free. And anything that is not food waste will come to the dust drum that can replace the wet garbage room that helps to remove liquid from waste and also at the same time compact the size of the waste. So that's allow like ease of like handling the waste, and it can also help to keep our area clean. So what we learned is that we to invest in such innovative technologies, it helps us a lot in providing ease and convenience and hygiene in waste handling, and it like save time a lot for building operation as well. Okay, now let's have a look at WELL. So the first key feature of WELL certification is about air quality. So at the park, we supply fresh air at the rate of 30% higher than the ASHRAE standard. And we also thought about how to provide a very like quality air by installing a premium air filter. We use 2 layers of air filter or to treat both PM 2.5 and PM 10, which are like both quite an issue in Bangkok in the recent years. We also have UVC emitters in the air cooling system that can help to clean the cooling coil. They help to eliminate bacteria and fungus, so we can reduce the spread of airborne germ. And because it can clean the cooling coil, so that helps to decrease frequency of maintenance. The last feature for air quality is that we have like air quality sensors and display system through the mobile phone that our tenants can check on the air quality inside of the building. Well, one interesting point about WELL certification that it requires an on-site performance test. So for air quality, IWBI will come on site at the park to take measurement of PM 2.5, PM 10, VOC, formaldehyde, and ozone. So, like results from these measurements will point out how good the design and construction qualities are. So that requires us to be very careful, and that we have to conduct a system commissioning to check on the performance of our air supply system. And we need to also think about how to establish an ongoing air quality management as well. For water quality, because WELL want to address about human health. So when we talk about air quality, it is to ensure that people have an access to clean and high quality drinking water. So at the park, we install reverse osmosis water dispensers with purification system that will ensure the water quality comply with the WELL requirements. And that will also help to reduce plastic water bottles as well. We have water dispensers in all the pantries on the office floors, and we have water dispensers in the retail area as well. And for drinking water, we use lead-free pumping fixture and fittings that comply with the NSF 61 standard. So NSF 61 is like new to local suppliers as well, and even to local products. So again, that we have to like have an extra collaboration with the suppliers and also to educate them about NSF 61. And during the procurement process, we have to allow like extra lead time for this in the procuring the compliant materials. And this will be another thing that IWBI will come and take measurements. So to understand the water quality in our building, we have to conduct a pre-test. After we install, we actually have a water dispenser installed at the construction site, so we can take a sample of water from the dispenser and send it to the laboratory for tests before we actually have them installed on site. And another feature for human health is about hand hygiene at the park. We actually decided to have this hand hygiene feature even before the time of COVID-19 because we started with the design process like long before COVID-19. And so at the time, we decided to have contactless features to create a convenient and safe experience for occupants in the park. We have features like touchless and facial recognition access control. And we have a visitor management system that people can just use a QR code from their mobile phone to scan and get a ticket to go up into the building. And we have our smart parking system, parking access system as well that is like hand-free. And for restroom, we design them to be hand-free. You can access the restroom without touching the door handle, and other features in the bathroom are hand-free as well. Okay, so these are the features that actually tenants like love a lot, especially at this time of COVID-19. But again, because like all of these are new to them, so we have to have a session to provide education to them on how to use like these equipment. And for light, for WELL certification, WELL certification look at natural light as an essential like element for a human body because it helps to regulate your body clock. So during the design process, we check on the performance of insulating glass to make sure it can balance the daylight, so we can have appropriate amount of daylight in the interior space while it can cut out the solar heat as well. And for lighting fixture, as you can see in these photos, we select ones with glare control that have a unified glare rating of less than 19. And unified glare rating is something new for the specification and suppliers in Bangkok. So at the time, it required collaboration with the designers and suppliers to understand which product comply with the requirements. And to promote physical movement, and we provide like a generous area of outdoor activities so our occupants can have like movements like during their break or during their work time or after work. So we have this like large open space on the third floor where it is like publicly accessible so people can have activities. We design the landscape amenities. Like as you see in the photos, there is a philosophic walking track around the area, and we have like seating areas, water features, and we also like have like music on in all of our outdoor area. And for physical comfort, okay, so because we understand that physical comfort can, I mean, if you have physical discomfort during your work time, you might feel that it's a big disruption for your like work. So we try to think about thermal comfort by providing variable air volume. So indoor temperature can be adjusted to according to the user's demand. And to provide olfactory comfort, we maintain negative pressure at restroom, pantry rooms, and other source of odor inside the building. And for acoustical comfort, we have to select the glass that can cut the exterior noise intrusion, especially the traffic noise, because the park is at the central location of Bangkok. So, I mean, when we start the process for the acoustical design, we had no idea of what acoustical performance of curtain wall is. So what we did is that we took a measurement in the building that is like on the opposite side of the road to understand the performance of curtain wall in the actual context as the same as our project site. Okay, so that helps us to understand like whether we use like, okay, triple pane glass is enough. And for the last feature of well, it's about a mindful design. That's require us to think about the integration of mindful design so that we can provide soothing sights like sky or greenery, and that we think about how to use sound to like calm people's mind. So we have like calming music on in all outdoor areas, like from at the walkway from the underground station to our building, and in the garden on the third floor as well. And we also like have a biophilic design because we understand that people have uh, like a need to be close to nature. So we try to design to combine plants, daylights, water, or wooden interiors in our building. And the last one is art collection that we like use the Thai philosophy as a concept. So it leads to the thought about how to have a calm and peaceful living, like these two in our project. So what we learned from working on like those two certification when they are like still new to us is that well, first is about building certifications. Well, I mean, they are not just they're not just like provide third-party verification for building sustainability, because like most of people look at them at that way, that it's just like an award to the building. However, we found they structure a framework for and guideline for sustainable design, construction, and operation. And what we need to work on them is that we have to have an integrative and collaborative process, and it's best to like start integrating early. And at the time, you should involve every party in the team to explore options and implications, and to help identify areas that require extra time, collaboration, or research. It's like when we started with the WELL certification. And you have to have an innovative process because like WELL certification is like very performance based. So we have to understand the actual performance, so that we have to like come up with a like how we can understand the performance. So can we have a like early test of potable water? Can we take measurement in actual buildings? And before IWBI come on site to take a measurement, we should have a process like pre-test, that we first understand of the building after the construction and see if anything has to be fixed. And we have to allow time and budget for those additional tests and collaboration. And we also learned that investing in new technology is very like beneficial. It creates resilience in the long run, like the contactless feature and UVGI and cooling system that we have, that we decided to have it even before the COVID time, and it's now proved to be very useful. And that we about our waste handling equipment that like very amazingly like provide neat and clean environment for our buildings. And another thing is that we learned that those technologies require user education, both our building staff and tenants. And lastly, it's about supply chain. So you see there are like a lot of requirements on materials. So we have to have an active coordination with contractors and suppliers in sourcing materials, or including educating suppliers to have their material tested and certified. Yep. So that's from the PARQ.